I remember when we landed and got out of the plane, just looking at the airfield itself and noticing how dry that was. It's probably not really an airport, probably more of an airfield. It's gravel runway, not bitumen. Pretty basic sort of airport facilities. And even going from the airport to the homestay where we were, you could see immediately that we were in a country that was, or a landscape that was a lot less well off than other parts of Indonesia. I think that was really evident.
It goes back to around 2002. I was working in Indonesia, living and working in Indonesia, and travelled around a bit. And in my travels, I went to Sabu Island, and I thought, this is for such a remote island and so arid, and the people there were struggling. And I thought, no, this is really hard for them. Maybe down the track I can do something to help them.
The main reason to become involved or to travel to Sabu was really because unless you have been there, you don't get the feeling about what is really necessary to support people in need. And Sabu would be a perfect example where you can find lots of opportunities to be active.
I've been in the Rotary Club since it was founded in Beaumaris. Met a lot of interesting people, and including John Banks when he first joined the club, and he'd just come back from an expat role in Indonesia, and said to us in the international committee at Rotary, he said, "Have I got a project for you?"
I was really struck by meeting Pastor Franz for the first time, and even though Pastor Franz is really old now, you can really see the passion that he's got that continues, is undiminished after all these years of being in Sabu. And he's obviously an extremely intelligent man who lives very humbly.
I met Pastor Franz and discussed with him, asked him, what do you need? What's the best way we can help you? He said, water, definitely. So we started off building water wells, or funding the building of water wells. I was able to raise significant funds through a global grant, through the Rotary system. I had the Beaumaris Rotary Club on board totally with the project. They could see the benefits of that. So what happened was we got the global grant and we had our first project on Sabu Island.
Our first challenge was to, Pastor Franz had this idea of making concrete rings to line the wells to stop them caving in. So this Chinese engineer, we talked to him, and he made these molds that we could cast the concrete rings in, or the local people could do that.
A lot of the women and the girls are the ones that go and fetch the water. And when I've been there, I've noticed that they walk quite a distance to a water well. For them to have a tank closer to where they live makes a big difference where they can get water from. The tanks we provide are for various households in a community, and it's quite impressive how they are able to survive with the little they have. But education, that is a big thing where we've been able to help. And it's quite significant, the impact that has on the communities.
Probably the most recent in terms of the girls' student ashram in Kupang. It's on the grounds of the university in Kupang to assist with growing that ashram to a stage where it currently has about 70 students, residents there, and it will eventually accommodate 110 girls. So that's something which we would never have imagined when we first started.
And probably the final thing that I thought was that regardless of how sort of in our terms, regardless of how their lives were fairly uncomplicated and, they're doing without a lot of things that we take for granted, they're nonetheless quite happy. So leading that kind of simple life.
I want to keep going back there. As I'm getting older, it might be more difficult. I think that it would be good for younger people. Well, Mark's younger than me, and he's someone who's, having visited Sabu, will carry the baton, I believe. And I'd like to think that this Sabu project, even though it's already been going nearly 15 years, will go for at least another 15 years or more, because there's such a big need for support there, and I want to see it continuing.